All right, good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night. Almost made it halfway. Well, some of you made it halfway through the work week. I still got another hour and a half here at work. Again, on my dinner break, I did post a few photos of the cabinets I've been putting together back in the garage. Things are coming together pretty well. Man, it's hot out there. It's hot all over this building, too. Our studio's hot. I just had to go look at the thermostat. I think it's reading about 78 degrees in the studio, so maybe a hot 10 o'clock newscast tonight. We'll see. It had some thunderstorms out in the shoals tonight. Had nice rainbows there, but just huge, heavy downpours out there. These rain bombs is what I call them this time of year. You can look off in the distance, and it just remained just south of the river there. So Muscle Shoals, the south side may have seen that, but it's hot in Chattanooga, Brad says, too. It's hot everywhere, man, and the forecast doesn't get much better. In fact, next week, it's showing more mid-90s again, the forecast guidance, so we're probably looking at more heat index values and more heat stress, 100 to 105. But let's get into tonight. We'll talk about what's going on outside now. I mentioned the shoals. It cooled off to 82 there. I imagine where most of us are around 82 now, but you got rain-cooled air just before the sunset with those showers and storms. Still got some over there. We've got a distinct boundary. It's ironic that it's right along Highway 43 all the way up into Tennessee. It's just kind of a wild coincidence here that it's kind of tracing the road there, the highway. West of Pulaski, a lot of lightning. You could probably see this lightning. Hot and humid in Hartselle, Mark checking in. But you can probably see this lightning from anywhere in North Alabama because what happens is, again, this is what brings us to the term heat lightning, and there's no such thing really. The lightning's just the same. We just see it because there are no other thunderstorms in the way, and this thunderstorm's probably, I'm going to guess, 40,000 feet in the air. Let's see. I'm going to check the radar here on my app. I've actually switched from radar scope to a radar product. It's called Weatherfront. You can see that. I like it a lot better. For one, it's free, and two, you can go in and customize your maps. Again, it's called Weatherfront. But that storm in Lawrenceburg, right over Lawrenceburg, let's see if I can get the enhanced echo tops. Let's see how tall that is. That top is it's actually close to 50,000 feet in the air. So that's why you're able to see that. Again, I'm kind of zoomed in here, get the 50,000 foot tops. So it's way up in the air. The thing about these tall thunderstorms is if they collapse, that collapse is happening about 40,000 feet down. So there's a lot of momentum built up. Yeah, you guys had a shower near Decatur earlier today, and Rondo says it's on his camera in Anderson. Yeah, you can definitely see the lightning, and the only scientific reason you would call anything like heat lightning would be due to the fact that the sound wave that comes out of these thunderstorms is a parabola, and that parabola, the arc of the parabola, is dependent upon temperature. I'm sure the humidity has something to do with it as well. And that's why you can have the sound wave can actually pass over you. But most likely it's just people are like, oh, it's hot, I see lightning, it's heat lightning. Will the system in the Gulf impact North Alabama? It will, but indirectly. It's bringing in all this deep tropical moisture. So as we get into the weekend, we'll go through that. The rainfall rates are going to be very, very high, probably 4 or 5 inches per hour. Having said that, you're not going to get 4 or 5 inches. You're probably going to get 2 inches in 30 minutes because the storms are not going to last a full hour, most likely in your area. But if they were to stall out, definitely we'd be looking at a flooding risk, so we'd have to watch that. Motorcycle ride in Florida. The motorcycle ride, I think the thing about it is it's going to be earlier in the day is going to be better because we're going to return to this after the lunch hour. Storms will start firing up. Look at some of these temperatures, still 85 in Huntsville and Meridianville. Heat index is still close to 95. In fact, let me check the weather app, see what it says the heat index is. I'm guessing our heat index is in the low 90s right now. That's just an educated guess, we'll call it. I rearranged my whole phone today. Moved all my apps. So we'll find out here. And again, one other thing I've noticed on our weather app, somebody brought it to my attention. When you go in, it feels like 91. When you go in and you click on the forecast, and you're going to get something like that. And then if you click here, as I say that, it takes you to the web, actually, our website. So what you need to do is there's that First Alert logo, and I hope my brother doesn't text me anything, right? We've all got that brother, right? If you click on First Alert Weather, the logo, it takes you back to the app. That's just something. I'm also working on figuring out why sometimes the lightning alerts are not going off as well as they used to. Man, Adam, you're late to the party. Must have had a busy dinner. When's fall? Yeah, fall is a long way away. So let's continue through this forecast here. And what we're going to find is the future feels like. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, this heat, day in and day out. If you had any cramps at all today, and I actually started having some leg cramps working out in the garage. I lost 4 pounds. What I've done is I weigh myself in the morning, and then when I take a break, I'll go in and I'm 2 pounds lighter after 2 hours. And so I lost 4 pounds of just water weight. I'll gain it right back in my sleep tonight. But yeah, that's how fast your body could dehydrate. So just stay hydrated. If you had a lot of issues with cramps today, it's probably going to be a bigger issue for you tomorrow because your body's more prone to it. It's more susceptible. You got to really keep a close eye on that. And, we don't talk about, usually when we think of severe weather, we think of tornadoes, of course, and severe thunderstorms. But heat kills more people than tornadoes per year. So heat is a real big issue. Heat and flooding are two of the top two. I think they're top two now. I haven't seen the latest research, but you just take it for granted. You think, it's just hot, it's summer. But it's a different kind of heat sometimes. Reminds me of my brother's wedding in Lake of the Ozarks back in August, I think it was early 2000s. The heat index was like 101 at midnight. It was just brutal. If you spent some time in the Army in Fort Leavenworth, they call it Fort Lost in the Woods, that was some of the worst weather ever. I didn't personally feel that, but all the trees, all the vegetation in the Ozarks, it gets brutal. And then you get up in Iowa, you get around cornfields, what's called evapotranspiration. That's basically the plants are sweating. So if you live near a big cornfield and you're like, man, this is the worst humidity ever, that's the reason why, is because those plants are sweating. Here's where we're all sweating. 7:30 tomorrow evening, still a heat index close to 100. The only thing that's going to break the heat is going to be thunderstorms. So let's take a look at this area low pressure down in the Gulf. Not very organized. We really weren't talking this up last week, and I saw a few posts on social media about it. But the model guidance is just not gung-ho on this. And the problem with social media is you find that one meteorologist or that one person that claims to be a meteorologist that posts the worst case scenario, that posts someone was posting the icon model. And I'm like, I've never even heard of the icon model until like 3 months ago. And the thing is it's attention getting. You show the model that shows a big tropical storm or hurricane developing. Rapid development is always a challenge, but this area low pressure is tracking closer to I-10 than it is over the open water. So this becomes more of a flooding problem there in Louisiana, and that's where most of that rain is tonight. There will be outer bands. They did have, I believe, a water spout in Mobile Bay earlier today. I saw a report on that. But the flow here, this circulation will cause more rip current issues there in the immediate area. And this is why, you got to be careful. But I stress, don't cancel your plans down there along the Gulf Coast. So here's the model guidance tomorrow morning. Notice the cluster still raining there in southern Louisiana. Yeah, wish you could move to Alaska. Yeah, Alaska would be nice. Even in Intermountain West, their dew points have been in the 30s. It's been really nice out there. I'm just glad I had a break in Idaho about a couple weeks ago. That was nice and refreshing. So as we get in here hour by hour, you notice all the showers and storms. One thing you're going to see here is this surge of the showers and thunderstorms to the north. That's that moist air mass, that very deep tropical moisture coming in. So we're going to see more isolated storms tomorrow. But as we zoom in here, what we're really going to focus on, look at all that convection there. This is Friday afternoon. So what's going to happen is we're going to get a large area of thunderstorms potentially coming in from the south. It coincides with the peak heating of the day. So I expect a lot of lightning, very heavy rain, and some gusty winds. Not necessarily a severe weather threat, but the storms are going to get your attention. This entire outflow boundary lifts north, and it's going to be a pretty busy Friday afternoon. I have a feeling that's what's going to take place here. And then everything dies out for your late evening plans on Friday. Here's your 3-day forecast. 95 tomorrow, heat index again around 106. It's another first alert weather day. We're going to drop the first alert weather day Friday and Saturday, but it's still going to be hot. You still need to be taking those precautions. The tsunami in Alaska, there was a tsunami warning. Officially, no big tsunami, so that's really good news. They canceled the tsunami warning about an hour after the earthquake happened. Again, these earthquakes that are underwater are very, very difficult to predict where these waves are going to go. There's still a lot of research on that. But again, they were evacuating some people along the Aleutian Islands there. As far as the earthquake goes, they had a lot of other tremors afterwards. But quiet for now. It's been a pretty active, crazy world overall, hadn't it? Good thing it wasn't a big tsunami. We're going to take a break here for 1 minute, then I'll be back with your 10-day forecast, and we'll talk about the weekend and next week. All right, we are back. I will tell you, looking at that radar app, got another thunderstorm that's firing up north of Killen right now, right along Shoal Creek. Very heavy rain. So we may see this boundary light up yet. Again, this is that time of year where you got a lot of moisture in the air, you get a boundary, and you can have thunderstorms in the middle of the night. We don't expect severe weather, but there will be some heavy rain coming in as well. So there's your 10-day forecast. More heat. And I'm really thinking about October right now. To be honest, I do not like these big heat waves. But this is going to be another heat wave, and all the rain we've had this spring into early summer. That's why the humidity is so much higher. That's why you walk outdoors and you're just sweating profusely at times. I mean, I'm sitting here working on the cabinets in the garage, and all of a sudden, I can't even grip my screwdriver because I'm just dripping wet, soaking wet. Again, I changed. I don't know how some of these people who work outside do this, like working remotely, because I have to change clothes 3 times before I come into work because I'm just soaking wet. So it's brutal. If you're new to the area, yeah, this is pretty typical this time of year, but it just seems like it's biting a little bit more this year than in previous years. And I think last year we kind of were starting to go into drought about this time. We had some really dry weather come in, but that hasn't been the case. We've been dry for a few days, but as I mentioned, we got some thunderstorms out there now, and that's actually good. What's going to happen is we're probably going to see these overnight thunderstorms. They're going to push boundaries around. Those boundaries will be focal points for thunderstorms again tomorrow. The model guidance is never really going to, unless AI gets really good at finding these, and I say artificial intelligence, AI, unless it gets really good at finding where these boundaries are. And I'll tell you, AI is really taking off in weather and in many areas, but weather is going, it's phenomenal where this is going. And the research kind of says everybody wants to know the weather where they are. So what AI is going to do is when you get on some of these apps and you say, I like to golf, I like to boat, I like to fish, I like to hunt, you're going to get a specific forecast. You're going to get, what happens is the AI is going to take the forecast and then it's going to build it into what you want it to be. So it's going to say, Ted's going golfing tomorrow. Here are the wind speeds. Here's everything Ted needs to know about his golf game and how it relates to weather. So that's where it's all going, and boating and skiing and snow skiing probably, where you can find the best powder. So again, it's a crazy world out there right now, but it's still the wild, wild west on social media. Well, all right, I got to go do the radio and get ready to do the 10 o'clock news. Margot's got a lot going on in the news tonight, so be sure to tune into that. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 here. You guys take care.